Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You're here on the home of the Slightly Above Average Ship Review. Got a match for you in the, year 5, year 6, year 5 reward bundle, Tashkent 1939 trim. We're on Islands of Ice. We are down tier. And it is an epicenter match. Tashkent 39. Well, forget everything you know about Russian destroyers. The Tashkent 39 is none of those things. By the way, authentic photograph of the Tashkent 39 in the title card, ladies and gents. Had to cover it up with some metals to make it look fancy, but that's really the same ship. All right. A destroyer flotilla leader intended to perform long-range reconnaissance duties within squadrons and support destroyers' torpedo attacks. She was built in Italy, probably at the Terney Shipyard for the USSR, Project 201. During World War II, one of the fastest warships in the world and largest ship of her type. This version of the ship represents the pre-war Tashkent, as she appeared when she joined the Navy in 1939. Tashkent 39 was first released just a couple days ago, and it looks like it appeared in. I'm looking at the wiki for WoW's Legends. Never mind. I was going to say, I think it's been out for at least a year on PC. All right, as you can see, my strategy here in Epicenter is to go into the Epicenter, but we're going to be forced out really quickly back to the wiki. Do I have a dispersion value? Of course I don't. I don't have a dispersion value because this is the wiki for WoW's Legends, which doesn't give you any info. It doesn't give you shell weight, doesn't give you anything like that. Sigma of 2.0. Whoopie-doo. What a waste of time. All right. Scharnhorst is going to encroach. We are going to eat a torpedo here. Thankfully, you have some of the best hit points at the tier in this destroyer. As you can see, 21,200 with our build. And so we ate a torp, and it took about a third of our health. Now, I don't know what destroyer that came from because I wasn't paying attention. It's probably not the Benham. So whatever the tier 7 destroyer is, that's what torped us probably as we get marooned on the island there. And we've got torpedo reload boosters, folks. I engaged them. I also engaged my smoke. We got one torpedo strike on Shiny Horse. More torps coming in. We start a flood. We're in our smoke screen. Only 3 main battery guns. So shoot only A if you are detected and there's no way around it, or B if you're safely in a smoke screen, because you do not have any firepower whatsoever. Nor are these shells the kind of shells that are going to pen cruisers like you are used to in your Russian destroyers. Anyway, kill number 1, first blood. We are on the board for our team. The enemy pushed pretty hard up into this part of the epicenter. So right now, I'm just hiding behind this island and waiting for my torpedo reload to kick in. Maybe I should go talk about the history of the Tashkent. Even though I already did this in my OG Tashkent video, it is a single ship. Now in this one, they're saying Project 20. That's what I get for trusting Ouija. Project 20 participated in the sieges of Odessa and Sevastopol during 41 and 42. Evacuated wounded and refugees, provided naval gunfire for Soviet troops, badly damaged twice by Axis bombers, sunk in mid-42, refloated in 44, too badly damaged, and ended up being scrapped after the war. General characteristics are what you're seeing here in the game with those 3 130mm guns. Is it going to tell me when they upgraded in 1941? The BL-2LM turrets were installed, and that is the Tashkent from the tech tree. So I agree with this being at the tier. It's the same. I agree with the tier that this ship is at. And I agree with the placement of the other ship in the tech tree simply because it better fits with the style that you would be accustomed to at that point with the Russian destroyers. We are torping out on this onrushing Brandenburg, and we're going to see what happens there. So yeah, you got to get your creepy, sneaky, best concealment build. Dev strike, 5 torpedo strikes, and kill number 2 on the Brandenburg. We're up to 84k. All right, so it's a by the way, concealment 4.8 km with this build. So we are not using a double concealment build, not really. We're using Swirsky and Deng Shichang. So we're sacrificing 100 meters of concealment in exchange for better torp damage. I think that is important to do because that's how you're going to be doing damage in this ship. Nagato looks ready to get killed. However, my smokescreen is not ready. My torps aren't ready. And so as much as I would love to just try to sink him, I know that's a bad idea. So we're going to move up here and we're going to go into park mode. And am I going to shoot at him? I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for a torpedo reload and send torps that way. And he knows what I'm up to. You can see he's starting to turn in. Turn that bow to starboard to avoid torpedoes. And so we'll cut inside, maybe halfway. Or maybe I'm going to wait. All right, so unfortunately for me, the other destroyer on the blue team had the same idea. Anyway, he just went right in and torped out, and he killed that guy. Kansas out there, we're going to have to deal with him later. But that's a Jaeger, so that's also a torpedo-focused destroyer. So it's all good. We're going to go outside the circle here and give up any capping aspirations. Simply because I think I need to get the right angles on the remaining ships on this side. As mentioned, the Jaeger is doing the exact same thing. And it would have been nice if he had done it on the other side of the map, where he was in the beginning. But it looks like he got double teamed over there by the enemy destroyers, so I can't really blame him. And if you're, man, you kind of forget sometimes how many torps the Jaeger can put in the water. It really is incredible. All right, we're torping at the Kansas. We're going to do 2 racks at the Kansas, who is maneuvering to avoid Jaeger torps. So I'm going to hold this second one just very briefly here until he straightens back out. And then I'm going to try to send my third one towards what I think is a Baltimore. And we get spotted, and so I throw up my smoke and turn away. And in a minute here, I'm going to stop. Thankfully, they weren't shooting at me. Someone was, but thankfully the Baltimore was not. I hit my second charge of torpedo reload booster, and I guess I should have paid attention to what happened with the Kansas. We made him eat 2 torpedoes. However, he stops my flood, and I should have paid attention to that instead of just launching torpedoes everywhere and all over the place. And a little more attention to what was going on would have been helpful. I did save the third rack for the Kansas, and we were safely in our smoke screen. But Baltimore is just 4.6 km away, and I don't necessarily want to attract his attention any more than it already is. Although it looks like all of my torps missed, I do get 2 torpedo strikes, and the Jaeger finishes off the Baltimore, much to my chagrin. And now I can't see anything because I think he's hiding in my smoke screen. So no one is spotting, so I will go out and spot. So there's Kansas. He's going to get away. He's going to turn. I'm hoping to light him on fire here. Anyway, he dies from the Lexington. So I thought, all right, great. We're good. Let's get out there and get it. I'm looking at the team matchup and I'm saying, hey, this is even. We should be okay. But I think the enemy team has more gunboats than we do. And that's going to be part of our failing. The other part is that because the Jaeger came over to this side of the map, that pretty much left the middle wide open for the enemy destroyer right there to go right up the middle. And I can't even see what it is because my fading eyesight won't let me see those names on this small screen. So yeah, we got a problem. So I'm trying to head towards where I think the red team carrier is, and at the very least, without being spotted by him, might have the chances to pull things off. We've got to kill every ship to win the match. Both their destroyers are out of the cap. They take out our aircraft carrier, and I thought he was on the other side of this big island. He is actually going to be on the other side of the cap. You can see him in the mini-map right now. I'm sure my dead teammate is trying to tell me something very important. But sir, you are dead and you contributed no kills, so I did not even bother looking at his message, ever. It's still in my inbox, unopened. So, in my mind, I've got to kill all the enemy ships to win. It's just myself and the Jaeger now. The Jaeger is a torp boat, not a gunboat. Unless he can kill this other destroyer with torpedoes, we literally have no chance of winning whatsoever. And they're chasing each other around on the minimap. Shikaku here is out of my torp range. And I'm going to do something dumb here that I shouldn't have done. Shikaku, I think, was going to cruise to a stop. And so I'm torping at where I think he's going to stop at. And I made the mistake of shooting at Shikaku here. And I should not have done that. I should have let him not know where I was until the torps came in. It would have been too late. And he would have been killed. But instead, because I'm an idiot and I was trying to set him on fire, we have tipped him off. He immediately hits the gas and moves out. And basically, our torpedoes are going to be a giant whiff. And I just fucked up right there. That's all me. And I should not have done that. By the way, we are the last ship remaining. There's not going to be a solo warrior here today. As you can see, Shikaku, I think he takes one torpedo from this very last salvo that's just crossing in front of the island right now. But I just should not have shot my guns, and I can't believe I did that. In hindsight, that was very dumb. In theory, he would be dead right now, and I would be 25 seconds away from a full reload on Flandre. Now, I'm not saying I would have won, because there's still two other destroyers out there as we get the high caliber medal. But that being said, I could have killed the carrier and Flandre and have gone for a crack against one of the destroyers. But I just fucked it up. And here, Flandre is wise to my scheme. He keeps turning in. Maybe the destroyer is warning him on my location. Maybe he's really scrutinizing the minimap and sees that Shikaku has me spotted with planes. I don't know. But he keeps turning in, and basically I'm going to whiff on all these torps. Unfortunately for me. You know, I've got to say about the ship, it's extremely fast. I think you're going to see a lot of players who are in this ship do a mad rush up the sideline to get to the battlefield of the enemy team. And I think that is a viable play in this ship. But one thing it cannot do is it cannot gunfight. So I would only shoot your guns if absolutely necessary. We get killed. We had a good game, but our team lost, and that is all that matters. Here on the defeat screen, First Blood medal, Dev Strike medal, High Caliber medal, 137,507 total damage, 13 torpedo strikes, 1 assisted kill, 2 kills, and a cap defended flag. We ended up with 469,419 silver, 3,300 ship XP, 3,700 commander XP in the loss in Tashkent 39. And I think I got a phone call towards the end of that match in my headset, so if some screens run out of time or have way too much time, I was on the phone talking with somebody at my workplace. So anyway, we finished at the top of the board. I think that's a 1689 base XP. 3 medals, 2 kills. I wish maybe the worst player on our team, that Colorado guy who messaged me, had done more to contribute to the match. Maybe he sent me a message telling me he sucks balls. I don't know. But he should have, because he did. All right. Got some milestones. I'm not buying this campaign because fuck cruisers. All right. Here in the port, looking at the upgrades, we went with aiming system mod 1. Basically for the traverse speed. Propulsion mod 2. There really isn't a good choice in mod slot 1. And concealment system mod 1. Take a look at the loadout. Unlimited damage cons. 2 charges of a smoke generator. 3 charges of an engine boost. And I think you go 51.5 knots at full speed with this build. And 2 charges of the torpedo reload booster. Rare battle booster for movement speed and cooldown time. Type 9 permanent camouflage. And the VMF Day 21 flag. 21,200 hit points with our build. We've got those 3 130 millimeter guns, 10.7 kilometer firing range, 5-second reload, 15.4 second turn time, HE shells 1900 max damage, 8% fire chance, AP shells 2500 max damage. 3 triple tube launchers reloaded in 93 seconds, max damage 15,533 with our build. 10 kilometer range, 60 knots, 1.2 kilometer detection capability. AA defense, terrible. Maneuverability, 46.1 knots, 730 meter turning circle, 4.8 second rudder shift time. Concealment, 4.8 on the surface, 2.7 from the air, 2.4 from a smokescreen. Take a look at the stats. 4 matches, main battery accuracy of 59%, torpedo accuracy of 10%. This match was my best match in Tashkent 39. Just wanted to get this video out there so you guys could take a look at it. We're going to peek at the armor viewer, but there's absolutely nothing special there. And this may be one of the moments where I was on the phone. Nope, nothing remarkable here whatsoever. Here's a look at the commander. Sergio Splendento, base trait firm hand, increases the traverse speed by 2 degrees per second. We've got Swirsky, Eric Bay for concealment, and Deng Shichang for torpedo damage and concealment. Pretty standard build here, except I didn't build into the torpedo stuff, more about survivability. Quick fix, look at me now, perceptive. I think that Rove 4 skill called Iron Shot, maybe? And then, of course, Unstoppable. Are we going to cruise down there and look at that at some point? I'm still blabbing on the phone. I think it is called Iron Shot. I think it risk of engine being incapacitated greatly reduced. Steering gear impairment chance greatly reduced. Anyway, Tashkent 39, ladies and gents. It's a better reward than last year. What can I say? Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next video.